Hello guys, thank you for joining me on this vlog post. This is going to be a quick one. I just received my camera here, the Mockba or Moskva 5 camera, and before I go out to shoot, I want to show you guys how to load a 120 film into this camera. Now my goal is that I want to document most of the steps as I go through my journey with film photography, and I hope that somebody out there, you have this camera or a similar camera and you're wondering, how do I load this thing with film? Now I've gone through all the trouble, so you don't have to go through that trouble. Okay, so I'm just gonna go right to it. So before I continue, I just want to go through some of the mechanisms on this camera here in order to understand this camera. This camera can take in two different formats. It can take the images in the square format and in the rectangular format. Now because it's medium format, you have, for this particular camera, it takes 6:9 format and also 6:6 format. So depending on which format you would prefer, you would just switch this to whichever format you prefer. So right now it's on the rectangular format. That means that it's 6:9. If I want the square format, which I actually prefer because I don't want to waste too much of my film, I would switch this to that format accordingly. Okay, now to open the back of this camera, actually before I get to that, I want to talk about these windows here. Now this is what you're going to look through when you're advancing your film with this knob here. Now depending on which format you're using, you either use this or you use that. Now if you're going with the 6:6 format, this is the one you're going to be using to look through, to check the numbers on the back on the film. If you're going with 6:9, this is the one that you're going to be using. Now the back mechanism on my camera is broken, but typically you would be able to go in here and open or close which one you want. So right now I have manually gone in and just kept this one open because that's where I will be going out to look for my when I'm using the 6:6 format, which I intend to. Let's open this back and go through some quick tutorials on this. So over here you're going to push this and it will pop the whole back off. Okay, now before I go to the camera itself, let's talk a bit about the back here. Now typically you would be able to go in here and select which format you want, and that would either shut or open one of these, right? So as you can see here, this is the format for 6:6 and it's inscribed on it, and over here is 6:9 and that's inscribed on there as well. If I wanted to select 6:9, I would switch this to 6:9. If I wanted to select 6:6, I switch this in here as well. So there are two ways you can change the either open or close one of these windows. So if I wanted 6:6, I could either do it from the back here with a sharp pointed object like a pen or a pin, or I could do it from the inside here. Now as I said before, my mechanism is broken here, so I have to manually go behind this plate to get that fixed. Okay, so that said, once you get your format sorted out, what you need to do now is, let's talk about the mechanisms in here. Now the mechanisms in here are a bit different from your usual camera. Well, what I found is that most cameras, you're able to lift up this is the film advance knob, so you're able to lift it up and then it allows you to slip in the spool, right? But this doesn't do that. Actually, it is the Soviets were known for over-engineering things, and really this is one typical example of it. If you over here, in here, it's an immensely engineered knob in here. It's set so that you have to adjust this to match a hole in the base of this, so that this actually pulls out like that. So you spin it, and now look, it doesn't come out the full way. Okay, you have to spin it. If this camera is facing you, top towards you, you have to spin it, that would be anti-clockwise towards me, in order to actually let it go, release it. If I spin it clockwise towards me right now, it locks it in place. Okay, so anti-clockwise to open it, and then it can flatten like that, and then this spool will go in easily this way first. Okay, so I'm gonna start, because the film has to go on this side, right? The new film goes in here, and then you roll it onto the take-up spool here. So I'm gonna put an empty spool here, right? So let's go through that process. Anti-clockwise towards me, and then I'm gonna slip the end here, okay, into the top here, the top of the camera. You see the flat ends here? It has to fit nicely. So while I slip it in, I'm going to manually use my thumb or my finger to push this down, because I've already enabled that, and I'm gonna slip this right in. Actually, you can hold on to this bottom part here. Okay, hold it as you pulled it down, as you pushed it out, and it just falls right in place. Okay, just like that. So now that you've got this figured out, this empty spool is on this side. The film that you're loading will go on this side, so that when you roll, you're gonna get fresh film over here. Okay, so what I'm gonna load up today is, I bought a whole bunch of Arista Edu 100 camera, 100 film, and this is a 120 film, and it's black and white. It's panchromatic, so that means that it's sensitive to all the spectrum of light. So here we go. Let's take this out. I'm not very patient. I don't like taking things out. Okay, let's throw this out. Now remember, with 120 film, it's a bit different from 35mm. So you don't want to do this in direct sunlight, because the film is only protected by the paper backing. Okay, and it says right there, pan film. And that means that if you're doing this in a dark room, thinking that you can expose the film, you would under safe light, you will actually be wrong. You need to you can't expose this to any light at all, because it's panchromatic, so it's sensitive to all kinds, all the spectrum of light. Okay, so here you remove the sticky tape at the back here, pull this off. I didn't quite get it off, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a little sharp object here, a pair of scissors, just work on it like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get the tab off. Okay, so the tab comes off. So now that this is off, my film will be going in the back here. And remember what we talked about, same principle. Let me put this down, I don't want to accidentally expose it. Same principle, okay? This has to spin, and in this case anti-clockwise, same thing. Then you can push it down like that. Okay, that's the bottom of the camera. So now that I got that part figured out, I'm going to slip the top part on first, and then I'm gonna pull this down, because I've already enabled that as we discussed. Now this fits right in. I have to make sure that it fits in properly by rolling and wiggling the film a bit until it falls into the groove. Right? It falls into the groove on the spool. Okay, so now that I got that figured out, I'm just gonna move this film. There you go. I was a bit worried there because it wasn't coming apart. And now I'm gonna fix this into the groove here, and then I'm gonna start winding. Okay, so what I'm doing now is winding. I'm gonna keep your finger on this because this thing tends to get undone, at least for me. It keeps, so I keep it. See what I was talking about? Sometimes it's a little hard to get this to behave itself. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try a different method. I'll slip it in this way, and then I will actually, I think that would be easier. Okay, and then I will start rolling this. Yeah, I think it caught it. Okay, it caught it, and it says start. So what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to expose too much of this, so I'm going to cover the back now. And remember, this over here goes in here. So this portion, I'm gonna put it over like that on this side, and then just give it a nice little tug, push, and it fits. And this knob, make sure it's closed properly, and it looks like it's closed. And as you can see, I'm looking out through here because, like I said, my format that I'm looking for is the 6x6 format. So now that this is set, I'm gonna keep on rolling until I see, okay, and I'm looking through this hole, and this is closed. So I'm gonna keep it rolling until I see 1, and then I'm ready for my first exposure. So just to let you know, this camera, it's a bit tough to roll it, not like the others. So here we go, and I'm gonna keep it rolling, and let's see, is it coming? Oh, okay, that's the arrow. The first arrow is coming through. That means I should be expecting the dots now. If you haven't watched my loading film into the ACFI Isolette, this really confused me. That was the first time I did it. So there's a big dot, there's a medium dot, there's a smaller dot, there's an even smaller dot, and now I should be expecting 1 coming soon. And there is 1. So as you can see, there is 1 right in there. So that's it. Hey, so I hope that you guys found this video useful. So I have the film in there now, and it's ready to go. And if you have any video requests, please feel free to put a comment down there. I have so many cameras, and I intend to go and play around with quite a bit of them. If you have any camera that you think I should do a video on, put a request down there, and I will certainly do a video on that for you if I actually have that in my collection. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate your time and spending some time here watching my videos. If you do like my videos, please click the like button. And if you want to subscribe to my videos, my channel, to receive notification whenever I put up videos. I try to do videos every day or so because I'm an enthusiast, so this is what I do for fun. I really enjoy this stuff. Every week I try to do at least 3 videos. So please click the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful day and stay safe. Okay, bye-bye.